Be me, working overnight security at a warehouse in an industrial park. It's a standard gig, nothing flashy. Concrete block building, chain link fence, and flickering floodlights that never seem to quite work right. The company put in cameras on every corner, motion sensors inside the building, probably because they did not trust their own employees more than anything else. Still, they insisted on having a human on site just in case, even though most nights were dead quiet. I would sit in the little glass booth by the loading docks, thermos of coffee in hand, watching the dark, waiting for the shift to end. It's around 2:30 a.m. when I get a call from dispatch. Bay 5 door sensor tripped, they say, like it's no big deal. This happens sometimes. Sensor glitches, faulty connections, you name it. Still, I have to check it out, so I pull up the camera feed. Nothing. The bay door is still shut and locked. No movement. No signs of anything weird. Just the empty concrete door, lit by flickering fluorescent lights. I figure it's a false alarm, probably just a glitch, maybe a small animal. But protocol is protocol. I grab my badge and flashlight and head out. The air outside is cold, dry, and smells like dust and concrete. My boots make a steady, rhythmic echo against the empty loading dock. Everything looks fine at first glance. Bay 5's door is locked tight. The padlock is still in place. Tap it with my flashlight. Solid. I am about to walk back when something catches my eye. There are scrape marks on the concrete in front of Bay 5. Thin, parallel lines, maybe an inch apart, stretching from the bay door toward the lot. Fresh. You can still see the dust around the edges, like it happened recently. I don't remember seeing them earlier. Could be from a pallet jack, or maybe some dolly dragged out of here, but it doesn't sit right with me. Too uniform, too neat. I snap a few pictures, make a note for the report, and head back inside. An hour passes. The sensor trips again. When I check the cameras, the feed glitches for a second, sharp static, like a sudden jolt. It's gone in an instant, barely noticeable, but it does not feel right. The camera's feed clears, but there is still nothing to say. No movement, no alarms. I radio dispatch, tell them the system is probably faulty, and they tell me to keep an eye on it until maintenance arrives in the morning. No big deal, right? But then, at about 4:17 a.m., the sensor trips again. I pull up the camera feed, and this time it's crystal clear. The padlock is gone. The bay door is still shut, but the padlock I checked on just an hour ago, missing. The chain is still looped through the handles, but it's hanging loose. No alarm, no motion sensors, nothing is triggered. My brain starts working overtime. I don't know why, but something about it does not sit right with me. I seriously consider calling the cops, but the warehouse manager is a pain in the ass when it comes to false alarms. If I'm wrong, it will be my job on the line. I decide to check it myself. Better safe than sorry, I guess. I grab my heavy-duty flashlight and crowbar just in case, then head out again. The dock is silent, not a sound. No cars passing by on the highway, just the hum of the flickering lights. I make my way up to Bay 5. The chain swings gently, tapping against the metal door. Shine the light over the concrete. There it is again, more scrape marks. Fresh ones, but this time, they are leading from the bay door toward the edge of the dock, only to stop abruptly, like whatever made them just vanished. I step closer to the door. The padlock is on the ground nearby. The shackles slice clean through, not like someone used bolt cutters. No, this is too precise. It has been cut, like with a high-end industrial tool, except there is no heat damage and no burn marks, just a perfect, clean cut. My stomach tightens. Something is wrong here. I don't know what, but I can feel it. I open the bay door just enough to shine the flashlight inside. Empty. Just pallets and shrink-wrap boxes. Everything is in place. Nothing seems disturbed. But then, in the middle of the concrete floor, there is a square cut into the ground. Barely noticeable, but I can see it now. A 5-foot square, the edges just slightly discolored. No seams, no handles, nothing that would mark it as a hatch. But I've been walking this floor for months, and I have never seen it before. I can feel something creeping up my spine, like I'm standing too close to something I shouldn't be. I back off, lock the bay door with a spare padlock from the booth, and log the incident. I write down everything I saw, every detail, no matter how small. Then I head inside, trying to shake the feeling that something is not right. I hand the report off to the morning shift at 6 a.m. and leave. I am exhausted. I don't know what I saw, but it's not something I can forget. Days pass, and I cannot stop thinking about Bay 5. The feeling I had that night, the gnawing sense that something was off, lingers. I am starting to feel like there was something I missed, something bigger than I am seeing. But the warehouse, it is the same as always. Nothing changes, no strange events. The usual hum of machines, the occasional hiss of air compressors in the background. But something in my gut tells me to keep looking, so I do. I take to walking the aisles more methodically, checking for anything out of place, anything that could explain why Bay 5 feels different. I even start paying closer attention to the inventory. Boxes, pallets, everything stacked just so. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but I start noticing that it feels like they're all in the exact same positions every time I check. The warehouse does not operate like a well-oiled machine anymore, but the feeling does not go away. One afternoon, I bump into Karen, one of the warehouse workers. She's been here longer than me, worked a few different roles. I figure she's the kind of person who's seen all the weirdness and learned to shrug it off. I ask her about Bay 5, trying to sound casual. You ever notice anything strange about that place? She gives me a blank look. What, like the bay? It's just a loading dock. I push a little further. Yeah, but it feels like something's off there, you know? The way everything is set up, like it's too quiet or something. She shrugs. Look, it's just a warehouse. I don't know what to tell you. It's a job. I've been here for years. Nothing has ever been out of the ordinary. I don't push any further. I start to feel like maybe I'm the only one who notices. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Later that week, I'm walking past Bay 5 again when I see something new. It is faint, but there is something on the wall near the edge of the bay, something I did not see before. It's a small mark, dark, almost like a stain, but it is too symmetrical, too uniform to be from any kind of spill or mishap. It's almost deliberate. I lean in, squinting. It's not much, but I can't shake the feeling that it means something, something I'm not supposed to say. The more I look, the more I start to feel like there is some kind of bigger system at play. Maybe it's just the fatigue kicking in, but everything seems too planned, too organized, like people are trying to hide something, and I'm too small to notice. Bro, you work in a warehouse, you fucking stupid. Of course it's gonna be organized. Dan, the maintenance guy, has been acting strange too. I catch him in the hall, and I ask about the stains I noticed on the wall. He gives me the same blank expression. I don't know, man, could be anything. I don't buy it. There is a hesitation there, like he is holding back something. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it. I ask him, you sure there's nothing weird about the setup in Bay 5? He grunts. You're reading too much into this. It's just a warehouse, nothing more. I start piecing things together, and the dots are slowly aligning. Not in any obvious way, but in the small details, like how certain people avoid Bay 5, the reactions from the workers I asked, and the weird marks on the wall. I start to wonder if there is more to this than just a poorly lit section of the warehouse. Maybe I'm onto something, or maybe I'm just losing my mind. That is when I see something that makes me pause. On the security footage, just after a shift change, I catch something odd in the background. A van, parked near the side entrance. It's not the van itself, it's the fact that it doesn't show up on any other camera feed. Not the main entrance, not the parking lot, not any of the other docks. Just that one camera at the side, and it is only there for a few minutes. The time is tight, maybe 3 or 4 minutes in total. No one is unloading anything, no one is moving, but that van is parked just far enough out of sight for the camera to miss it. It's subtle and it's brief, but I know I saw it, and know I can't unsee it. A few days later, I ask Karen if she's ever noticed any unusual vehicles. She shrugs and says no. Why do you ask? I tell her I saw something on the cameras, a van parked in the back, but I can't find any record of it on the logbooks. I don't know, man, she says, clearly uncomfortable. I have not seen anything. Maybe you're overthinking it. Her tone is flat, and she is not looking me in the eye. That is when I realize it. The van is not the point. It's the fact that no one talks about it. Not Dan, not Karen, and definitely not anyone in management. They avoid the topic, or they act like it does not matter. Something is hidden in plain sight. I am sure of it now. Whatever was under that hatch, whatever it was that disappeared that night, and whatever that van is, I'm starting to think I'm not meant to find out. Bime, 7 years old, hanging out in the basement, home alone. Hears something in the basement. Assume it's the cat. How did he get in there? Open latch lock and open door. Lady sitting on the floor. Wearing white t-shirt and grey jeans. I broke in through the window. Scared. Please don't go to the police. If you're scared, call your parents down here. She has got bruises on her. Realize our laundry room window was open. She is in her late teens, close to 20-ish. What's wrong? I ask, still scared. I just needed to get to a safe place. Why? Don't worry. She had not been talking to me like I was a kid at all, which weirded me out. My parents aren't home, I said, and didn't know why I said it. I'm sorry, she said. I don't want to get you in any trouble. She looks like she's crying. Hug her. She plays with my toys with me for a while, leaves through the window before my parents get home. Never think any of this is weird. Never even tell my parents. Years later, 18 years old, senior year of high school. I am in intro to photography. Student in class just moved to town. First year going to my high school. It's a girl. She is very beautiful. Immediately seems familiar. Start talking with her. We like the same music and shit. Both dig stupid paranormal shit. Find out she goes on 4chan. This girl is perfect. We start dating. Meet her family. Her father is a huge asshole. One day she comes to my house late at night. I'm home alone. What's wrong? I'm freaked out. I just needed to get to a safe place. Why? Don't worry. Realize she's got bruises all over. My parents aren't home, I said, bringing her inside. I'm sorry, she said. I don't want to get you in any trouble. No, that's not what I meant. I'm just... What happened to you? I am freaking out. She is clearly trying not to cry. Hug her. Her dad had beaten her. She got a C in a class. Realize who she is. Years later, we are still dating at this time, but we have not seen each other for a bit. Never told her about the childhood memory. I am in Michigan on a family vacation. She stops texting me back when I text her. One day, parents go to beach. I check out the town. Go home. Parents still out. Here's something in the kitchen. My girlfriend is sitting at the table, badly bruised, crying. Holy shit, what the fuck? What's wrong? Grab her. Get ice pack. How did you get here? Listen, it's not important. I just wanted to say thanks for giving me a safe place. I don't need it anymore, but I love you. I really do. And if you ever need a safe place, I hope I can help you too. I hold her. Phone rings in another room. Answer it. It's my parents saying when they will be home. Go back to kitchen. She is gone. When I came back from Michigan, I found out that she had taken her own life after her dad gave her a pretty bad beating. This is a lot more depressing for me than what the fuck, but it qualifies. I work at a fast food joint on the outskirts of Columbus, Ohio. I work the night shift, so I am routinely trapped in that place until 2 in the morning. It's not that bad though. I get paid extra for working late, and I don't have class until the early afternoon. The downside is that it is spooky as hell. The restaurant is located the corner of a block in a lower income area. It's a very strange place for a fast food joint, as there really isn't a lot of business around besides the gas station across the street, and the block the place is on seems mostly residential. The majority of the houses are one story and in various states of disrepair. There are 3 ways in and out of the store. There are 2 doors in the lobby. One gets locked at 8 p.m. for safety reasons, and the other gets locked at 10 p.m. when the lobby closes. It is common practice for employees to unlock these doors after 10 p.m. to go and smoke. They stand just outside the door while smoking, then lock the door as they come back in. Sometimes they forget to lock the door behind them, and sometimes they let people in on accident. Now, whenever people come in after close, you can always tell by the door chime ringing throughout the place. And whenever that happened, 2 employees will go out to the lobby and tell whoever was standing there that we are sorry, but the lobby is closed, and they would have to leave. They have always left. It has never been a problem before. The other night, I was working with John, a tall black guy, and Katie, a short, cute red-headed girl. The shift was going as usual, albeit a little slow due to the falling snow. At about 1 a.m., however, we hear the door chime ring. The sign a lobby door has been opened. John and I go to the lobby, prepared to tell whoever was in there that we were sorry, but the lobby is closed, and they would have to leave. You see, the 3rd way out of the building is a door in the very back of the store that they use to load food and stuff off the supply truck every week. It only opens from the inside, and an alarm sounds whenever you open it, and it keeps sounding until the code is entered. We rush to the back to check it out. The door is already closed. It shuts mechanically, but the alarm was still blaring. I enter the code to start the alarm, and we look around. Nothing is out of the ordinary, but then we realize that John is not in the back with us. The door chimes. Katie and I run back out to the lobby to see John sprinting outside into the darkness and the snow. We don't follow. We are too terrified to go out into the night with whatever made John go crazy. We lock the door back up, figuring John will call us to let us know to let him back in. He can't be long. The snow is overwhelming, and he did not even take his coat. He never called. He never came back. No one has seen him since. His coat is still hanging up in the break room. I just wish I knew what he saw that made him run like that. I want to know if he is okay, but I never want to know how close it was to it being me that ran out into the dark. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you do and you want to hear more, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below, as it lets the algorithm know that you like my content and it promotes it to more people. My goal for the channel is to hit 50,000 subscribers, and we're closing in fast, so thank you, and back to the stories. Spring 2022, right after Putin invades Ukraine. On a ship heading to Iceland. About halfway there, it is midnight. One of the undesignated seamen on watch sees an orange ball behind us, roughly 100 feet above the waterline, about 1 nautical mile aft. Looks at it through the big eyes. Amorphous blob with no discernible shape. It's moving with us. Same heading, same bearing, maintaining its distance. Wake up CO and XO. Pretty grumpy. Orange ball, like a mini sun, is following us. XO asks if there is any rotary wash. Helicopters, when flying low, have a lot of force and will create circular waves. No rotary wash. XO says, if that thing comes after us, we are fucked. CO concurs. Both go to bed. 1 hour later, still following us. Sinks into the water and disappears. Then rises up 10 minutes later. Starts doing this little bobbing dance of going into the water, then rising into the air in 15-minute intervals. After 2 hours, it zooms away and disappears in a wink. We survived flipping off Putin, but we did get a flyby 2 Russian MiGs. We survived deployment. The end. This happened about 2 hours ago. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, visiting my grandpa, who lives out past the mountains. Small town up here called Moriarty. He lives up past that. South of 5th Street for about 20 minutes if you want to check a map. Just hanging out with my grandpa because he lives alone after my great-grandpa died. Drinking a beer, fond memories of childhood. He tells me he's feeling tired and I can go now if I want. When this guy dies, it's going to suck dick. Leave the house and walk to my car. It is about a 200-foot walk. Totally lost in thought, thinking about my grandpa's war stories. Suddenly, it gets colder, a shit ton colder. Literally think to myself, am I in a fucking movie? Huh. Trying to play it cool. Get in my car. It's a shitty 04 V6 Mustang. Have to put the car in neutral before starting it, or it will not come out of park. Start car. Pull headlight button. Look up. On the fence that surrounds the property, about 30 feet from the front of my car, a figure is sitting, with both its feet on a post, holding what looks to be a small creature in both of its hands. Humanoid. It is facing diagonally away from me. That is how I saw what it is holding. It turns to me. It has a beak, visible blood dripping from its mouth. It is eating something. Fully understand, freezing in panic for the first time. Heart has stopped, hands gripping steering wheel. Its shiny eyes judge me for a moment. It drops what it is holding and charges my car. Human shape, normal arms and legs, beak getting closer. Punch car in reverse, power slide out of the property like a fucking action movie. Doing 60, 65 down a dirt road with posted speed of 20. Glance in rearview mirror. Had been avoiding looking because I am a little bitch. I am losing it. Inwardly celebrate. It jumps into the air and flies. It has fucking wings. Looks like bat wings. Slow down. Make a left onto 5th Street. Shitty car starts vibrating at 95 miles per hour because U-joints are trashed. Finally back right window is down. That is why it has been so loud. I must have left it down and forgotten. Make it into town in about 8 minutes. Turn left onto main road in town. Few cars out. Feel a little bit safer. Suddenly, red and blue lights behind me. Fuck. Get pulled over. Cop takes her sweet ass fucking time. Driver window down. Hands on steering wheel. Officer comes over. Asks me if I have any firearms, etc, etc. Asks me why she saw me flying into town like 007. Tell her a flying creature was chasing me. Fuck. Now I sound crazy. I try to play it off all cool. She immediately buys it, thanks me. Says similar calls and incidents have occurred recently. At least it did not take your baby, like the other lady said. Tells me not to go into the country alone and to have a good night. Still got a fucking warning on my license. I am at home, in Albuquerque, terrified out of my fucking mind. Don't want to talk about it. No postings on local news or police pages about it. I am shaking while typing this, like a child. I have been searching for months, trying to figure out what it is that my wife and I saw. This happened around Labor Day, 2014, while camping in the Eastern Sierras in the Mono Village area. I have been coming to the same area to camp and fish for over 30 years. The Twin Lakes Resort in Bridgeport, California, right next to the Sierra Nevada border, about an hour north of Mono Lake. My parents brought me when I was a kid, and now I bring my family here every single year, so I am very familiar with the wildlife. I have seen mountain lions, Sierra moose, bald eagles, mountain goats, osprey, king snakes, the list goes on. One morning, my wife and I were headed to the creek for some daybreak fishing. The time must have been close to 5:30 a.m., and it was still very dark out with a slight fog. This trip is about a quarter mile from cabin to creek, and it is always full of nocturnal animals headed home after raiding the local campgrounds. Like I had done 100 times before, I kept an eye out, slowing down occasionally to hit the high beams and illuminate the beasts with their reflective eyes. This time, my lights caught something crossing the road that did not have reflective, nocturnal eyes, so I slowed down immediately and tried my best to identify what it was. It was hard, because the thing was moving very low, its belly just inches from touching the ground. It appeared to be very pale or white, so I thought it was a goat or a sheep. Well, when my high beams hit this thing, it turned its long neck and glared at us and almost shook its head as if we pissed it off and did not want to be seen at all. At first, it had been crossing the street diagonally, headed our way, but then it turned, heading in our direction. My wife had seen it from the start, and I wanted to make sure she was seeing and observing the same thing that I was. I asked her, "What is that?" Now, the first thing that I could not understand, besides the way it was crawling so low to the ground, was that the legs did not look right. Its knees seemed to be backwards, but it was running on them. Because it was moving so fast, I thought maybe it was an escaped sheep or goat that had broken knees and was running for its life. As it came closer and closer towards us, I could hardly take my eyes off of its freaky legs. I am still to this day puzzled by how they were working. I have not ever seen any mammal move that way. The closest thing I could liken it to would be a crab or an insect. The front and back legs moved together in unison. There was no bounce or gallop to the creature's movement. Its torso, which was about 4 feet long, stayed entirely straight, low to the ground, as its legs and arms did all of the work. To me, it looked like a puppet moved along on marionette strings, so unreal, like one of H.R. Geiger's alien creatures when they're shown climbing around super fast with only their arms and legs moving. When my wife finally responded to my question, all she said was, "What the hell?" We saw it from maybe 50 yards away to about 20 yards away. You could see that it had no fur at all, just pale, sinewy skin stretched over long, skinny, well-defined limbs. What I thought at first were broken knees were actually very long, skinny fingers or claws, about a foot long or more. The torso was maybe the size of a large goat's, but it also had broad shoulders, very human. It made me think that possibly this thing normally walks upright. In fact, that is what my wife kept pointing out afterwards to me. The shoulders made it look human. All this was freaky, but we both stared intensely, trying to figure out what it was. As it got closer, its face became more and more defined. At first, I could tell that the face and head did not make sense, but I thought, well, it looks strange now, but when you get face to face, you will see a familiar goat snout or canine nose or jackrabbit face. But no, the nose I was looking for was not there. It was just a flat opening with 2 nose holes high up on the face. No ears, just small holes on the side of its head. Its brow ridge was very pronounced, but the skull was smaller than a human's, more like the size of a chimp's. However, it had a large, protruding chin, but this part I totally did not get at all. From a distance, although they reflected no light, I had seen the creature's large eye sockets. As it came nearer and nearer, I saw the color red in them, not like a light that was glowing, but like many veins, or like a red membrane that was covering the sockets. Now, this blew me away. I thought, how is this thing turning its head to glare at me with no eyes? Was it a ghost? But as it passed us, and I came to a complete stop, I saw it zip into the chaparral and kick up dust. This thing had been flesh and blood, at least for the 15 to 20 seconds that we observed it. I might add that there was no smell or anything else odd that we noticed. I should have taken pictures of the tracks, but I did not think to do it, because I was very puzzled at the time, and thought maybe we had witnessed a ghost just because of how unreal it appeared. I was also with my family at the time, and I did not want to put them in any danger. If I had been alone, I would have stepped out onto the trail to investigate. What this thing was doing so close to a campground really puzzles me. My wife said that this thing seemed really intelligent to her. She got the sense that it was mad at us for discovering it. The mouth was closed, and it had tightly closed lips that almost looked like a large smile. I did not see any teeth, but its skull was that of a predator's, not a prey animal. The eye sockets were positioned on the front, not the sides. I have seen a great many extraordinary things in my life, and I consider myself a great eyewitness. I don't jump to conclusions. I just observe, make notes, and evaluate later. My wife was a bigger skeptic than me. Her upbringing exposed her early on to how harsh reality can be, and she had no room for any flights of imagination. Well, now she's a believer, and she is afraid to this day of what it is walking around those Sierra Nevada mountains.